Hello, this is Jessica McKay. I am an intuitive counselor and spiritual teacher at jessicamckay.com. Thank you so much for watching this video on numerologist.com. In today's video, we're going to look at how to progress your spiritual journey. This is the intermediate guide. And last week, we talked about what spirituality is, why it's important, and how to begin your spiritual journey. That was the beginner's guide. So if you would like to begin your own spiritual path, go ahead and watch that video, do those exercises, read that article, and then come back to watch this one. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to move your spiritual journey forward. So how to progress. So in the first stage of any spiritual journey, which is awareness, you become aware of what you really think and what you really feel, what you really believe, what beliefs were given to you as a child, what was downloaded into your mind that you didn't have any choice but to accept when you were a kid. And once you have an awareness of those things, that's when you can move into the second stage of your spiritual journey, which is transformation. Transformation is where you get to choose, you get to decide what you're going to believe and how you're going to react to the things that happen in your life. And this takes practice. It's not always easy, but what makes this doable, what makes this work, is love and acceptance. Transformation is all about love and acceptance. And so that is what this video is really about. How to bring love and acceptance to your spiritual practice. And by love and acceptance, what I mean is doing the opposite of what you were taught. As a little kid, you were probably taught to reject yourself for your emotions. You were taught to deny and suppress how you felt. If anger wasn't acceptable in your home, you would have learned to deny that part of you. You would have learned to suppress any feelings of anger. If you learned to judge yourself for certain behaviors or certain ways of expressing yourself, you would go through life, you would bring that into your adult life, being hard on yourself, being critical. And all of us do this because that's pretty much how we get domesticated into life. We come into life, we don't know anything. Our caregivers, they mean well, but they download into our minds what's right and wrong and good and bad. And the first part of your spiritual journey is figuring out what those things are so that you can decide for yourself whether you're going to keep them or whether you're going to release them. And you release them in this transformative part of your spiritual journey. And the way to release them is actually different than what we were taught. We were taught to banish parts of ourselves, to reject ourselves, to send parts of ourselves to our rooms and not come out until we could be who they wanted us to be. So when you're working with yourself on your spiritual path, you're going to bring love and acceptance to the things that you don't like instead of resisting them or pushing against them. So I'll give you an example of how you might do this. Say that you notice in the awareness part of your spiritual journey, step 1, phase 1, where you're looking at your habits and you're looking at the things that arise for you. You look at your feelings, you look at what comes up for you. Say you notice that you have a tendency to compare yourself to other people and then get upset about your life. So you notice that you do this and you notice that it doesn't make you happy. How you bring love and acceptance to this is you welcome that part of you in. You give it a seat at the table instead of criticizing yourself and making yourself wrong and being mean to yourself. You bring the part of you to the table that compares him or herself to others. And when you do that, you are acknowledging that piece of yourself. You're acknowledging it. You're letting it be okay that it exists. You let it come in. You bring it in. You embrace it. So you don't push it against it. You don't push it away. You see, so you do the opposite. And this applies to all the things that you don't like about yourself, or that you've been taught not to like about yourself. So you bring acceptance. You let it be okay that you have this tendency or that thought or that belief. You let those things be okay with you. Now, accepting things doesn't mean that they're going to stay with you forever. So by accepting that strategy doesn't mean you're always going to compare yourself to others. All it means is that in the future, you'll catch yourself doing it and you'll forgive yourself right away. You'll love yourself. You'll be practicing active self-acceptance, which makes the biggest difference. That's what really transforms your entire life. So this next part of your spiritual path is about learning how to do the opposite of what you were taught, welcoming things in, especially when you want to push them away. So this applies to anything that happens in your life that you don't like. And this isn't easy, we hate the things sometimes that are out of our control. So getting sick, not feeling well, if you can bring acceptance to that, to say, well, I don't like this, but I accept that it exists. I welcome the fact that it's here. That's how you heal that faster. You bring love to it. So one practice that you might do is to write down a list of things that you were taught to dislike about who you are. Write down any thoughts you have that come up that disturb you, because the human mind is one of those things that we really can't control. We think thoughts and we may not like those thoughts. So instead of banishing those thoughts, which never works, the thoughts come right back, bring acceptance to those thoughts. Let them exist. Let them sit with you. And then you'll find that that acceptance is what heals that thing that you don't like. So it's a new way. It's a new way of being. It's a new way of moving through your day. See if this can help bring you to a place of more peace. Just allowing it to be. Allowing those parts of you that you don't like to be there. The thoughts, the feelings that don't feel good. Whether it's feelings in the body or emotions that you were taught weren't okay. Bringing acceptance to those. And when you do, you heal one of the biggest lies that you were given when you were young, which is, I am not enough. That's what we all learn as children, is that in some way we're not enough. We don't make the cut. We're not good enough. That lie will start to heal once you bring acceptance to all these parts of yourself that you've been rejecting over the years. That lie will start to shift into I am enough, because you'll be treating yourself with unconditional love. You'll be giving yourself that love that you didn't get growing up. And that's going to change everything for you. And that is my biggest wish for you moving through life, is that you will give yourself that love and that acceptance that you didn't receive. That will transform everything. And that will take you to the third and final place of a spiritual practice, which is mastery. That's where you begin creating the life that you really want to live, because you'll feel at peace. You'll be in acceptance of yourself and of the things that happen. So even when things happen that you don't like and you wish didn't happen, you'll be able to have an attitude, a state. You'll be able to be in acceptance around those things, which will transform that entire experience for you. and more you will have mastery over how you react and respond to the things that crop up that you don't like. Because you'll never be able to make everything you don't like go away, but you'll be able to respond differently. And that is going to just really shift your whole world. So I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please leave a comment. Let us know. And feel free to share this video with anyone who you feel would like to progress their spiritual journey. And again, thank you for watching on numerologist.com.